Now let us continue the lesson ratio and proportion. Before that, I'll solve previous class assignment. You just go through your answer. Here, find the compound ratio. In that first one, 3 is to 2 and 3 is to 4. We have to find out the compound ratio of 3 is to 2 and 3 is to 4. Here, consider 3 is to 2 as A is to B and 3 is to 4 it is C is to D. So compound ratio A into C is to B into D. So A it is 3 into C 3 is to B it is 2 into D it is 4. So 3 3s are 9 is to 2 4s are 8. 9 is to 8. Further simplification not possible. So this is the answer. 9 is to 8. Compound ratio of 3 is to 2 and 3 is to 4. It is 9 is to 8. Check your answer. Second problem. 7 is to 4 and 2 is to 5. Here 7 is to 4. Consider A is to B and 2 is to 5. It is C is to D. So here A. So compound ratio A into C is to B into D. So here A 7 into C 2 is to B 4 into D 5. So 7 2s are 14 is to 4 5s are 20. So 14 is to 20. We can simplify further. So 14 is to 20 we can write as 14 divided by 20. So here 2 7s are 14, 2 10s are 20. So 7 by 10, further simplification not possible. So 7 by 10 we can write as 7 is to 10. So the answer is 7 is to 10. Compound ratio of 7 is to 4 and 2 is to 5 it is 7 is to 10. So now check your answer. If there is any mistake, please correct it. Second one, find A is to C when A is to B is equal to 4 is to 9 and B is to C is equal to 3 is to 7. So here you have to find out A is to C and given is A is to B and B is to C. So first write the given points. A is to B is equal to 4 is to 9 and B is to C is equal to 3 is to 7. So here we have to find out A is to C. So A is to B is equal to 4 is to 9. We can write as A divided by B is equal to 4 divided by 9. And B is to C is equal to 3 is to 7. We can write as B divided by C is equal to 3 by 7. So now multiply A divided by B into B divided by C is equal to 4 divided by 9 into 3 divided by 7. So A divided by B into B divided by C is equal to 4 divided by 9 into 3 divided by 7. So here B get cancelled. So this A divided by C is equal to 4 into 3 divided by 9 into 7. So A by C is equal to 4 3s are 12 divided by 7 9s are 63. So here we can simplify further. Here 12 and 63 multiple of 3. So here common factor is 3. So 3 4s are 12, 3 2s are 6, 3 1s are 3. So 3 21s are 63. So 4 by 21. We can't simplify further. So A by C is equal to 4 by 21. So A is to C is equal to 4 is to 21. So the answer is 4 is to 21. A is to C. It is 4 is to 21. So now check your answer. If there is any mistake, please correct it. Now let us continue the today's class. Now let us study about proportion.
Concept of proportion is very simple. All we need to do is understand a couple of simple examples. Assume you have a computer screen of the size 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters at home, and you've been asked to draw that screen in your notebook. What do you do then? You cannot draw a 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters screen in your notebook. Your notebook would be too small for that. So what you do is scale the size down. This term is very important. You scale the size down. It means you draw a smaller figure which is similar to the earlier one. You may draw a small screen like this, with length 4 centimeters and width 3 centimeters. This will fit into your notebook. Here, the ratio of the length to the breadth is 4 is to 3. If you had a bigger book, you would have maybe scaled it down to 8 centimeters by 6 centimeters. In this case, the ratio of the length to the breadth would be 8 is to 6. Let's talk about the first case. Why 4 is to 3? The ratio of the length to the breadth of the actual computer screen is 40 by 30. When reduced, it can be written as 4 by 3. Basically, if we divide both the numerator and the denominator by 10, we get 4 by 3. Now let's look at the second case of 8 by 6. The ratio of the actual screen was 40 by 30. If both the numerator and the denominator are divided by 5, we get an equivalent ratio of 8 by 6. 40 divided by 5 equals 8 and 30 divided by 5 equals 6. What did you notice in this example? What are we trying to maintain? We are trying to maintain the same ratio. All the three ratios, 40 by 30, 4 by 3 and 8 by 6, are actually equal. We just changed the numerator and the denominator based on the requirement. Here we had to draw a smaller screen and hence we reduced the numerator and the denominator proportionally. That's proportion. It's nothing but equivalent ratios. Let's take a similar example to understand proportionality. Look at this person. To sketch this person in your notebook, you would draw a proportional figure like this. All the elements, his height, his width, his hands, his legs, have been proportionally reduced. What if we would have drawn the figure like this? It can clearly be seen that this sketch is not proportional to the original person. Since it's not in proportion, the sketch seems to be a fatter person even though the person is lean and tall. This is all you had to understand in the topic of proportion. Now let's get back to our first example. Since 40 by 30 and 4 by 3 are equal ratios, we say that 40 by 30 and 4 by 3 are in proportion. And similarly, 40 by 30 and 8 by 6 are also in proportion. If you observed well, you'd say even these two ratios are equal. If we divide the numerator and the denominator of this ratio by 2, we get 4 by 3. Hence, we say that the ratios 4 by 3 and 8 by 6 are also in proportion. There's a special way to write it. We write it as 4:3, 2 colons, and 8:6. 4:3 simply is the ratio 4 by 3, and 8:6 is the ratio 8 by 6. And these two colons in between are used to denote equal ratios. It tells us that this ratio is equal to this ratio. Remember, proportion simply means equivalent ratios. And this symbol means the same as or equal to. So this can be read as 4:3 is the same as 8:6.
5 pencils are to be divided between two friends, Jim and Tim, in the ratio of 3:2 or 3 by 2. This means we will have to give 3 pencils to Jim and 2 pencils to Tim. Correct? But here, is 3 by 2 the fraction? No. Here, the fraction of pencils to Jim is 3 by 5 and to Tim is 2 by 5. That is, you have total 5 pencils and out of that, 3 pencils you have given to Jim. And out of 5 pencils, you have given 2 pencils to Tim. But in the ratio where it says 3:2 or 3 divided by 2, it means you have to give 3 pencils to Jim and 2 pencils to Tim. Ratio deals with 2 or more different things or quantities, whereas fraction deals with only one quantity. I hope this difference between ratio and fraction is clear now. Let's continue the same example of Jim and Tim. Now suppose if there are 10 pencils to be divided between Jim and Tim in the ratio of 3:2. How will we do this? Now Jim will get 3 pencils and Tim will get 2 pencils. We are still left with 5 pencils. So we'll repeat the procedure, that is 3 pencils to Jim and 2 pencils to Tim. Well, now in total Jim has 6 pencils and Tim has 4 pencils, or their ratios of pencils is 6:4 or 6 by 4. But wait, we were given that pencils should be divided in the ratio of 3:2. You can write this as, now we can cancel 2 and we will get 3 by 2 only, which means 3:2 is equal to 6:4. And this is known as proportion. When we scale up or scale down a ratio, that is, multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by the same number, we will get ratios which are equivalent, that is, equivalent ratios. And proportion is nothing but equivalent ratios. Here, 6:4 is a proportion of the ratio 3:2. Similarly, for 12:8, 3:2 is also a proportion. Now we know what is ratios and what is proportion, right? And also the difference between them. Here, when we look at the same example, 3:2 cannot be reduced any further, right? So when a ratio cannot be reduced any further, then it is known as the simplest form of ratio. However, the concept of ratio and proportion is not based on just two quantities. For example, if you are making a cake, then for that you will need 2 bowls of flour, 1 bowl of butter and 3 bowls of sugar. Here, the ratio of flour to butter to sugar can be written as 2:1:3. Here, the order plays a very important role. This can also be further extended to 4 quantities also, like you can add a bowl of chocolate too. Proportions are also used to find unknown quantities. For example, chocolates were divided in the ratio of 2:3 between Alex and Nick. If Nick got 12 chocolates, then how many chocolates did Alex get? Here, we know the ratio of chocolates between Alex and Nick is 2:3, and we can write this as, now we know Nick has got 12 chocolates, so let's put that value here. After cross multiplying, we get the value as 8. That is, Alex will have 8 chocolates. Proportions are majorly used in such cases where we have to find the unknown values. Well, I hope now you guys are completely clear that what is a fraction, what is a ratio, and what is proportion, and also the difference between all the three.
Exercise first main. In the first one, 250:150:150:75 are in proportion. So we have to find out whether it is proportion or not. So here 250:125. We can write as 250 divided by 125. So here we can reduce further by cancelling the common factor. Here 25 5s are, this is 25 10s are. So it is 10 by 5. 5 ones are 5 2s are. So it is equal to 2. And second ratio, 150:75. 150:75. So we can write this as 150 divided by 75. So we can reduce further by cancelling the common factor. Here 25 3s are 25 6. So it is equal to 6 by 3. 3 ones are 3 2s are. So it is equal to 2. 250:125. It is 2. And 150:75. It is also 2. So 250:125 is equal to 150:75. So 250:125 is to 150:75 are in proportion. So 250:125 is to 150:75 are in proportion. This is in proportion because here both the answer same. Second problem, 10 men is to 70 men is to 49 women is to 7 women are in proportion. We have to find out whether it is proportion or not. So here first take 10 men and 70 men. Here 10 men is to 70 men. Here we can write this as 10 men is to 70 men. So here 10 ones are 10 sevens are. This is equal to 1 by 7. So we can write this as 1:7. So second ratio, 49 women is to 7 women. So we can write this as 49 women divided by 7 women. So 7 ones are 7 sevens are. So this is equal to 7 by 1. This is, we can write 7:1. So here 1 by 7, it is not equal to 7 by 1. 1 by 7 is not equal to 7 by 1. So 10 men is to 70 men is not equal to 49 women is to 7 women. So 10 men is to 70 men is to 49 women is to 7 women are not in proportion. So this is not in proportion. Third one, 28 gram, 140 gram, rupees 17 and rupees 85 are in proportion. We have to find out whether these are in proportion or not. So first here take 28 gram and 140 gram. So here 28 gram is to 140 gram. So we can write this as 28 gram divided by 140 gram. So this is equal to, here gram get cancelled, 7 4s are 28, 7 2s are 14, 0 as it is, 4 by 20. So 4 1s are 4, 5s are. So 1 by 5. It is equal to 1:5. So second ratio, and rupees 17 is to rupees 85. So we can write this as rupees 17 divided by rupees 85. So here rupees get cancelled. 17 ones are 17, 5s are 85. So this is equal to 1 by 5. So it is equal to 1:5. So 1 by 5 is equal to 1 by 5 is equal to 1 by 5. 1:5 is equal to 1:5. So 28 gram is to 140 gram is equal to rupees 17 is to rupees 85. So we can write 28 gram, 140 gram, rupees 17 and rupees 85 are in proportion. So 28 gram, 140 gram, rupees 17 and rupees 85 are in proportion. So these are in proportion. So these are in proportion. Today's assignment: